Hi, McArthur. Can you hear me? Oh,
Can
let me
you hear?
know when you're good. Hi, how's it
Hey,
going?
okay. Pretty good, pretty good.
Good. I feel like I can never do voice work until I have chapstick or my lips feel weird. And I'm like constantly wanting to lick them, which is a terrible habit when you're reading. So, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. Just hanging in there, hanging in there. You, how's it
Nice.
been?
I'm good. Yeah, no complaints. Things are good.
It's good to hear. It's always good to hear.
Yeah. All right. So tell me, with where we're at with everything, like your reels, your profiles, the book, where are we at and where do we want to get to? What would you say is your number one goal for today, too?
I would say, I would say oh, this is gonna sound weird. Oh, like
Hey, that's okay.
noises.
Noises.
I
Okay.
get so like how if I was because I didn't know this was like jobs in anime either. Is like how there's like background like noises, like there's
Mhm.
like crowd work that people have to do,
Yep.
and or like
I've
even like
definitely
or
done
like
that.
yeah, so like stuff like that, or
Yeah.
even like when people were like, well, we want two syllables and like a sneeze, or like we want a cough to like last this long or something like that, and that's just like I guess stuff like I was just thinking about because
Right,
I didn't
timing, because it has
know.
to match up with the
Yeah.
animation. Well, what's cool is that you don't have to necessarily be exactly perfect, because you can actually use editing software to shorten or elongate. So you actually can go change that. So I can show you in Audacity how to do that. It's in your
Oh,
effects.
okay.
And so we'll change
Gotcha.
the timing. So if you approximately get it, you can adjust. Because I've had things that are like, this has to all fit in this. And I'm like, I'll try. And I'm like, that is humanly impossible. Like I am speaking as quickly as I possibly can and practiced it over and over again. But that was before I knew I could just use the software to change it. Now, historically, speeding up would also make it go higher and slowing down would also make it go lower. But now you can change the speed without changing the pitch as well, because you actually can also change your pitch. So let's say they want a voice that's like super, super deep, like, from the depths of the ocean kind of a thing. And you're like, I can't go quite that low. You can actually change your pitch. Or they want like a little fairy voice and you're like, I can't do that. Well, you can change your pitch with the software. That's not like the ideal way to do it. I always use that as a last resort. But and I would say in auditions, usually you just want to like show them your voice. But say you get
Mm.
hired for like, some YouTube series and they're like, it has to fit exactly in this, or like a podcast. You can change the timing. That's fine. Um, or like you're working on like an indie project or something, or for an audiobook, and you're like, I really want this voice to sound higher pitched, and I really can't get that. You can change it, especially if it's a character that's like a small character. It's pretty easy to just go do some pitch changes. If it's a character all throughout, that's a lot of work. I probably wouldn't do it then. Audiobooks don't pay enough for that, unfortunately. So, yeah, that would be my advice there. So, I'll show you how to do that. Why don't we do that right now so we don't forget? All right, so let's have you actually open up Audacity because I want you to do it yourself. All right. I'll go ahead and open it on my side too, just so I don't lead you astray on accident. And like if ours look different, I can always show you on mine. So I'm just going to record a little bit of what I'm saying to you right now, just so I have some audio. All right, because it does not let you do effects unless you have something recorded. All right, so you get yours open. I'll show you on mine real quick what mine looks like. So I've got some audio there. I'm going to go up to effect. I selected it all. I'm going to go up here and you've got all these categories. I don't know which version you have. Some of my students have had like older versions or needed to upgrade or update or whatnot. So theirs looked a little bit different. And who knows, maybe you've updated yours when I haven't. So I have these different categories. Volume and compression we use a lot. Fading, I use a little bit. Sometimes I like to do a crossfade as well, um, because it'll like fade out, fade in. It kind of overlaps it, which is kind of a fun thing. Like in Reels, maybe I'll do that. Um, but I do the fade in, fade out at the beginning of each track. So what you want to go to is this pitch and tempo. So you can change pitch here. This is what it looks like. So I say how much higher or lower. So I can do it by frequency. Always be like kind of, like less extreme with this because you'll be surprised. You can also do it on actual pitches. So I can change there, or I can also go by half steps. So if you like look at a piano and you go like note to note, even like the white to black, that's going to be a half step. A whole step means that you go two half steps. So like a white key, there's a black key and you go to the white key. Sometimes there's a white key to a white key. So a whole step would be the white key to the black key after the white key. So that's what that's referring to. So this is more like musical. This you can just kind of like do a percentage change, or you can do like hertz. So that's the actual like frequency. You can also do high quality stretching. So I'm going to have you try all of these things just to see what they do as well. You can also do change speed and pitch simultaneously. So you can go, I want to change the speed. And like you can like do even more presets there. So you can like preview it before you actually apply it by playing there. You can go also to change tempo, which is just the speed. So this, the reason they call it tempo is because if it was music, right, they're going to do beats per minute, the length of it, use high quality stretching, or you can just do a percentage change to like faster and slower. So those are the ones you're going to be using most likely. These you probably aren't going to use, but I would say go experiment with every effect just so you know what they do. Um, if you were doing music production, you would definitely use all of these at some point, probably. But for voiceover, we don't use very many. At some point, you also might want to do like distortion and modulation, depending on what you're doing, a certain character. If I want like, some crazy sounds, like I'm just gonna record a little bit of what it just gives it like that sounds to me like I'm talking through one of those radios, across the distance
Hmm.
kind of a thing. You can go and do like undo as well if you want to switch it back. So now I'm gonna have you try some of those on your side. So I'm gonna stop share so you can share. I'm gonna make sure you have permission for that. More. There you go. You can, well, I think if you ask to share, it'll pop up on my side. Where is it? Oh, the settings should be here. Ah, yes, perfect. Allow. Nice. Multiple presenters can share. I was like, I'm looking in the wrong
Oh,
places. Yeah, there you go. You're perfect. All right. So yeah, if you requested it, just pops up on my side. So then you can share your
oh,
side, and we're going to go through and have you try some of those things and listen and see what those effects do, just so you've done it and it's easier to duplicate then.
is it sharing it?
hmm Yep.
Okay, I was like, I think I'm sharing it.
Perfect.
So I just
Yep.
kind of found an old recording from the
Perfect.
Burtonkin from the
Great.
Burtonkin recording stuff. Uh, so I'm just gonna, I guess, choose this section and then
Sure.
set effect, pitch. We wanted to change
Change
pitch.
pitch. So this should just change the pitch. So you can go higher and you can go lower. So yeah, if you percentage change, that's going to take it higher because it's vibrating faster. So the hertz are showing you frequency, and hertz are referring to how many times your voice vibrates per second. So if you apply that, let's see what that sounds like. So now you can push play and check.
That's so weird. That's so
Then you can edit undo, and we're going to do frequency, and we're going to go slower so you can hear when it goes lower.
weird.
Yep. And we're just going to pull it to the left. Yeah, I would pull it forward just full more to the left so that you can.
More to the left. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I was going to say fuller and I was like that doesn't make sense. More to the left so you can hear like a dramatic change in the sound. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that in a remix of a song. I sounded like Sam Smith or something. Alrighty, nice. Um, so let's go ahead and we're just going to edit undo so you go back to your normal sounding voice. And then once you get it back to normal, and it's okay if like you don't, we're just playing with effects. You could also put it on a different section if you wanted. So we're going to go up to effect and we're going to try changing both the tempo and the pitch at the same time.
So would I pick change pitch or change
Speed
tempo?
and pitch. We're
Oh,
going to do
speed. Okay.
speed and pitch. Oh, you have to have it highlighted.
Oh.
That's why it did that. You're good.
Okay. So
Yeah.
would I just like move this? Okay.
Yeah. So right now you're doing speed multiple is above, and then yeah, so you can slide that. And then it says standard vinyl RPMs. So you can also adjust that if you'd like. But the speed itself is going to change the pitch here. So when you go faster, it's going to get higher. And when you go lower, slower, it's going to go lower. Sorry. Faster, higher,
Gotcha.
slower, lower, which is like the old school way that it used to work. So you really only
Gotcha.
have to go faster or slower, and it's going to affect both.
Question, do you only see half my screen? I don't know why this won't go full screen.
That's okay. Can you hover over your right side of Audacity, that gray bar there, and then see if you can slide that over? So if you hover on that vertical gray, almost white bar on the edge of the box, that
Yeah,
it would
it's like
be right side.
not letting me click on anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, usually if you hover over, it does like a little two-sided arrow and you can like slide. I'm not sure why you can like click and slide and expand it, but it's okay. It's a very serene view, so
Oh,
it's all good.
I got, I got you.
Perfect. There you go.
I think it's because I was still like in the editing, the effects
Right.
box
Once you
thing.
got it, couldn't do multiple
I was
things at
like,
once. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes computers, they just have to be done just so.
these are so weird sounding. Oh God.
Do
They're
you
so cool
collect
though.
anything? This is just like a random question for fun.
Uh, I do. Yes.
What do you collect? I was just curious.
I collect anything from like Funko Pops to like
Oh,
comic
cool.
books,
Yeah,
and then
nice.
like
Cool.
my weirdest collection, I would say, is like when I buy like new pants or like shirts, the things that like are sticky on them. For some
Yeah.
reason, I like peel them and then I just put them on my wall. I don't know
Oh,
why I
that's
do
fun,
that.
actually. That's kind of
This
fun.
is
Yeah.
this is like the weird thing I do.
Oh, that's
And
fun. Yeah.
then
You kind of create sticker
right
art on your
now,
wall.
yeah, I'm just like I don't know why I do that, but if it's just like if it's like anything else, I won't do it. But if it's like a t-shirt or a pant or like pants that I bought, and it
Huh.
was like a sticker or something like sticky on it, I'll just like get it and I'll put it on my wall.
Huh. That's
I
cool.
don't know why.
I just asked because I just found on eBay. So when I was really little, I had a Cinderella doll that I loved, and I just found the exact same one from the early 90s
Oh, that's
on
cool.
eBay. It was so old. It was still in the box, but it was so old that her rubber band and her hair had disintegrated. Crazy, right? But I
Man,
found
yeah,
her. I fixed her hair.
that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Do you ever go to like cons or anything like that?
Yeah, sometimes. My
Uh,
friend Rose loves them, like crazy intense loves. So all the costumes and everything. She's like, help me with my costume. So it's fun.
that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. I also, when I was growing up, I collected anything that was like rabbits, like bunny rabbits, anything.
Mm.
My husband collected sea turtles. That was his thing. My mom got rid of all my bunny rabbits. She like donated them when I went to college, and I was like, "Ah!" But my husband still has a bunch of his. They were in a box in the basement, so I was like, I'm gonna like put them around the house. So now they're like all around on little shelves and things. I think it's
I think
fun to have things you collect.
that's so ironic just because like the turtles in the hair, like the whole story and the race thing, and then you guys are like just
Oh,
like
that's
the complete
funny.
opposite stuff. Yeah.
Ah, that actually is kind of funny. And that's kind of how we are in life too. Like he's the slow and steady, and I'm the one who's like bursts of energy and then like I'm so tired. But I have an ADHD coach now, so I'm learning more about that. I was only diagnosed this year, so officially everyone was like, we already knew, but now I'm official, right? So now insurance will pay for my ADHD coaching. So
Oh man.
that's
Yeah.
actually a really funny point that you made. That makes a lot of sense. I'm going to tell him that. Maybe that's why
But
we work so well together. We just like compliment, you know?
that's always a good
Alrighty.
thing. That's always a good thing to find, though. That's always a good thing to
Yeah.
find.
So you can see how when you play with this, if you go faster, it's going to go higher. And when you go slower, it's going to go lower as well. So it's going to do both simultaneously. So this is a really fun one to play with. It's more of the old school way. Nowadays, we usually change like the tempo and the pitch separately, but you can do this as well. So yeah, fun options. And then
Gotcha,
actually just
gotcha.
under this in effects, you're going to find where you can do the isolation. So we had, just pitch, and now we're going to do just the timing change is next. So you're going to go to
Mm.
change tempo, which equates to the speed. So tempo is how many beats per minute of a song. So like Mary had a little lamb. That's going to be faster than 1 second per click, right? So 60 beats per minute is 1 second, right? But like 90 beats per minute is going to be faster. And then like 120 is going to be double time. So like 1,000, 2, 1,000, da, 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 da. That's going to be 120, right? So, it was funny. I knew a lady who was a nurse and she could like pick out tempos really easy because she like could listen for like 10 seconds and be like, oh, it's this. Or about that, you know? That's funny. So we're going to change, beats per minute. And you're going to say, you can also say length in seconds, which I feel like is going to be more helpful to you. So it's telling you what they are now. So from this to this. So right now it's at 10.74 seconds. Let's say we need it in 5 seconds exact. So you're going to put on 2 and put 5. So you can avoid the more musically terms and just go down to seconds. Then you're going to apply and it's going to make it almost, well, actually, it's going to be more than twice as fast. Yeah, so you apply that. It's not going to change your pitch, but it is going to change the speed. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I
That's one
like
that
that.
I
I
feel
like
like
that.
we use more often. Now, in Reels, you might have noticed we take out all of the space, the silent moments, but we don't change the speed. The reason is because we don't want to change our actual voice. That's also why I don't usually use EQ on Reels either. I want them to hear what my actual voice is. So that's why I take out all the gaps, but I don't change my actual sound. Yeah. All right, nice. So
Mhm.
now you know how to do those things. If you ever think of other things that you want to do, just let me know and we'll play with those as well. Okay. So I just wanted to be
Gotcha,
sure we
gotcha.
remembered to do that. So now you know how to do that because there are going to be jobs where they ask for that. They say, like, commercials, for instance, they have to be exactly 20 seconds because they pay for every second of airtime, right? So they're like, I don't want to pay for 30 seconds. I only want to pay for 20. So you take, you do it and you're like, the fastest I can go is 30 seconds. So you just take it down to 20 and then you send it to them. Done and done. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha.
Perfect. All right.
Ooh.
So let's go ahead then. Now that you've got that down, what would you say is the next thing that you want to conquer today? So I know you were talking about sounds when you have jobs where they're like, do these sound effects. I love that idea. Um, I had taken some notes. I'm just going to put them in the chat here. And I'm also going to put timing, effect, pitch, and speed, individual or simultaneous. So you have just like a note on that. All right, so we are going to look at these background noise sounds now. Okay. All right, I'm going to find some scripts that allow you, like, tell you to do those in between.
Gotcha.
So give me just a second while I look through.
Did you want me to stop sharing or just like
Oh, yeah, that's fine. You can stop sharing now. You're good. Either way, I'm just looking at some stuff to see if I can find. So while I'm looking, let's have you work on just like random crowd noises. So let's say there's a crowd who's unhappy. Let's say someone is being hung in the square and it's medieval times. And you are part of the crowd that hates them, and you're like, hang the man, he's evil, he's terrible, right? And then your people are like, no, don't do it, he's innocent, right? So you're gonna play different people in the crowd. All right, so let's do a higher, mid, and low crowd member who are for it, who are like, yeah, okay? And you're just gonna make it up. Actually, let's
okay.
record you doing it, and then we can layer them and hear what they sound like all together, which is fun. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then you can hear like an
Gotcha.
actual crowd effect. Yeah. All right. So you're going to play, we're going to do a high, mid, and low in favor of hanging the evil person or the criminal, whoever they are. Maybe they're not evil at all.
Gotcha.
Okay, I found another one that I'll give you in just a second that are just sounds. But you're also going to do a high, mid, and low against the hanging. Like, have mercy. He's innocent. Let him go, you know? That
Gotcha.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And then this is a totally separate one when you see the scene there.
Yeah. What would somebody say? Like, ain't the man, he deserves it. Then mid would be so like would mid just kind of be like my regular
Yeah.
voice?
Just like your regular voice. Yeah. Perfect.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Sorry. Okay. I'll just restart. Hang the man, he deserves it. Yeah, put the noose around his neck. Yeah, he deserves it. Off with his head.
Nice. Good. All right. So then we're going to try. Sorry, I'm just putting in new ideas. Now we're going to do a high, mid, and low that are against the hanging. So you're like, he's innocent. Let him go. You know, those kind of things. Yeah.
Gotcha. The man is innocent. He shouldn't be up there. Let him go. Let him go. No, not the noose. Not the noose.
Cool. All right, so now what we're going to do is I want you to have two tracks. And what we're going to do is you're going to like layer them. So you're going to do it where like one voice and then another one comes in like halfway through and another one comes in halfway through and another comes in. So you're going to kind of like, you know how they bricklay? They do like bricks along and then they do like in between and then they like do on
Yeah.
top again. So we're gonna do it like that, where you just like line them up slightly different. So let's leave the ones that are in descent or like, okay, leave the ones that are supporting because you did that first, then copy the ones that are like against, and then you're gonna make a separate track, paste them into that one and slide them over a little bit where it's like slightly off, like a round. Row, row, row your boat, row,
Okay. I see.
row your boat.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think I could do that. Totally got this. Totally got this. I think I got this. can I add another section? What the heck? Why is it not? Um,
Can you show me what you're doing? Can you share?
add, yes. It's like trying to add another because I don't want to like delete anything just yet.
Correct. Yeah.
So like uh, these are the first three. The
Great. So go up to tracks. You're going to do add new and a mono track.
mono, right? Yeah.
Yep. So now down here, grab that one at 13 seconds and you're going to highlight it. So, yep. And now can you copy it? And then you're going to paste it down here, but I want you to paste it like in the middle, like at 1.5 seconds. In the middle of the first one. Yeah. Paste it there. Then go take that second one that is at 17 seconds. Copy that one. And we're going to paste it in the middle at like 5.5. This one doesn't go as long, so you might want to start at 6, or you can just like bring the other back.
Want to bring
Yeah,
this one back?
that's okay. You can leave that. Paste it in at 6, maybe. I was just thinking because the gap there, that's fine. I would maybe slide the third one back a little bit. Even more, yeah. Yeah, and then take that last one at 21 seconds, copy that. And then you're going to paste it in at maybe like 10 seconds. Because we do want it to be kind of a cacophony, that they're all overlapping each other. Like we don't want anyone to stand out. And then go ahead and delete these others because we don't need them. And they actually might run this on a loop where it just repeats over and over again in the background, honestly. Yeah, and you can delete that last little blip as well. Yeah, you should be able to double click and it'll highlight. Can you try that? Double click on top of one. You have to be in the middle of the track. Right now you're at the top. When you do that, it's trying to grab. You see the hand? If you hover over the dark gray, it's going to make a hand and grab. But if you hover over like where the words are and you double click, it should make the whole thing blue. Does that work? No,
Like,
on like audio 1.2. So
oh,
if you do it on audio
oh my
2,
bad.
it does the entire line. You see that the whole track is selected if you do it over at audio 2, the box on the left. But if you go to where the actual audio is, right now where you're at, you have the hand, so it's going to grab and drag. So if you lower that to where like the actual audio waves are, you see that? And you double click there, it's going to turn just that chunk blue. Yeah, so I just thought I'd show you a couple other ways you can work with that. So now let's go
Yeah.
ahead and play that, see what it sounds like. We haven't done any editing or anything, so keep that in mind.
Like starting. Why did it like
Oh, it's
start off?
because
It
you
started off at like
selected.
five
Yeah, you had
seconds.
it
Oh,
highlighted
okay. I
on
was
just a certain section. Yeah. So now it should play the whole thing. Can you click the arrow with the back line? That one? And it'll
which
take you to
one?
the,
I'm sorry.
yeah, right where you're hovering. Well, or where the mine is hovering. Sorry. Go up. You see the play button, the square, and then the arrow pointing that way to the left. Click the arrow that points to the left. That'll take it all the way back to the start and then push play. Yeah. So they would play all of that softly in the background with like, you know, horn flares for the king approaching or whatever, you know. So that would be like a rumble in the
Gotcha.
background. Okay, so I put in some other things as well. So let's go ahead and look there. We're gonna have next up a busy street market or party, softly overlapping with others. Did you see that? Look at those peaches. I think he went that way. No, no, over there. Yeah, so you're just going to make all these different sounds and you try to sound like a different person for each one. And they usually don't give any direction. They're like, just sound like something different. And you just have to be like, okay.
Gotcha. Man, so these are like, so these would be, they would ask you to do like three different people in a sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that is way more intriguing than what I
You can maybe like
anticipated.
think of a show you like My Hero Academia, and then make each one a different character or something. Could be kind of a fun way to do
Yeah,
it.
gotcha, gotcha. Did not know this is how they did background performance. Okay, okay. Oh, so pretty.
I've had jobs like pretty often where I was hired for one specific character. Um, and then they were like, we also are going to have you do these like background characters or like small characters. So I had like my regular main character that was a larger character that I did. And then there were like little characters who'd pop up. And instead of hiring a different person to do it, they just said, can you do that character and just like make different voices? That happens really often for like video game work. I've done it for radio dramas. I did it for a comic book strip that we turned into like the graphic audio kind of a thing, like a
Mm,
movie in your mind style. So I mean, I've done it for multiple projects. It's pretty normal, like, like a new media kind of thing. So yeah, like I mean, obviously they have to pay you for whatever, but it's easier to just have the same person do multiple voices. So yeah.
gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Did you see that? Look at those beaches. I think it went that way. No, 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 no. Over there.
Yeah, exactly. And you're not going to be the only person. Let's say they have like two men and one female voice actor there. So like the female maybe plays all the female characters and the two men split them all. So like maybe they have you do those, they have the other man do another set, and then they have the female do a different set. And you don't have to do them all in a row like that. You can break them up. Usually they'll do that, like where they break it up and they're like, okay, let's just record this one. So I do like a, did you see that? Oh, look at those peaches. I think he went that way. No, no, over there. Right? So like you can take time between if you want. And it doesn't matter if they're like crazy different or anything. These are just like in the background, like I said. So you're just filling in space. And you can try to make them more different if you want. Like, I think he went that way. If I wanted to do like a little kid, you know, or like a
Gotcha.
mom who's worried, there you are. I thought I lost you, and then you have like, no, over there. If you want more different attitudes or whatever, you can play with more contrast. But like I said, it's just to fill in the background. All right, so let's go ahead and try the restaurant scene. Again, this is going to be a loop, so they're just looping this in the background of like an actual scene, and it's all soft in the background. So these are all again just like soft in the background. I like to play like maybe you could do like a high, mid, and low. You could do different emotions, a happy one, a sad, an angry, nervous, like so try like different emotions, different pitches, different character inspirations.
Gotcha, gotcha. These are so, it feels so like, I wouldn't say weird, but different, I guess.
Yeah, like different than what you would say.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm
because
going to
it's
say,
like,
honestly, like that's very common. You get a script and you're like, I would never talk like this ever. And you just have to work with it. And we do our best.
okay. Did you see the menu today? I think I'll get the salmon. Yeah. I heard it's good. I usually get, can you pass the water, please? Thanks. Oh, oh, that reminds me. I need to call my mom later.
Nice. How'd that feel?
Oh, good.
Good.
Extremely weird, but I
Yeah.
don't know why they feel so like different. I guess from like the scripts or the book, it just feels
Hmm.
like we. I don't know because it's like
Yeah.
for these characters, there's like nothing.
To
I guess like
define them.
motivating. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess that's
You
just
have
why
no
it
idea who they
feels
are,
weird.
why they're there. So you just have to decide that, right? Like, let's say it's a restaurant that they do like a special menu every day. Like the chef makes new things. So like you could be the sommelier, like the wine person who recommends things that go with it. Did you see the menu today? Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun pairing wines with that, right? Or like, hmm, I think I'll get the salmon. If you're like a random restaurant person who's eating, yeah, I heard it's good. I usually get, and then I usually get a burger personally. Fish isn't really my thing. So you decide the context. And the thing is, you can fill in, like when it cuts off like that, you just keep talking and like, they'll usually stop you. So I usually just make stuff up. Can you pass the water, please? Thanks so much. Like this is in background, so you don't have to necessarily do exactly what they say. They can always, again, in editing, cut it off. Oh, that reminds me. I need to call mom later, right? Maybe you're with your siblings or something. Um, Low murmurs, you could just be like, hmm. Right? You just do like funny sounds, like whatever you think. Yeah. So you just like think of like, I love to laugh in Mary Poppins. Some people laugh through their noses, you know. They talk about hissing like snakes. You can do all the funny laughs, right? Um, so yeah, you play with it and you just give it an attitude. You just make a choice. And you just anything you do confidently, it's gonna work. So just make a choice and go big. All right, so sports arena crowd, mid-volume crowd reacting naturally. All right, so you are at a game, you're cheering. So, get hype. Go, 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 right? Come on, ref. Unbelievable. Boo! Let's go Tigers. Right? So you're gonna be those people in the background. So yeah, so just what you would actually do at a game.
Well, I'm like a completely different at games, but so
That's okay. That's all right. So you do what you would do at games.
uh, that's that's like a whole nother story. I've almost been kicked out of games before.
Ooh, you get too into it.
We're we're an intense family of like sports and athletics and
I
stuff.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah, they like called cops over on me before and everything. And like the cops were like just like standing up there and like like in the stadium and stuff.
You're
Because
like,
I
I
call out
just
the refs and
excited.
everything. I call out the refs. I call out the coaches. I
So you're
call
like,
out
I'm
the
not gonna
kids
hurt
that I know
them.
on
I'll
the
just get into
team.
it.
Yeah. And then like you really don't want me to know you're on the team. Like when my brother was in high school, it was like I knew just about every player he played with since they were in Little League. So I've known you
Mhm.
for over a decade and it was bad. And then I knew their parents. So it was like
Trash
you
talking.
can't say anything to me either. Like I'm gonna yell at your kid because I've known your kid since forever. So but
Oh, that's
yeah,
funny. You just get really into it. My dad's like that too. He gets real into it.
so
I remember going to like, he used to take me to 49ers games and like sometimes I would just like sink into the chair and be like, I'm not with him. He does the really crazy loud whistle thing too that you're like,
mm,
I'm like, how do you do that? He doesn't even do the fingers. He can just like, and I'm like,
oh yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
so loud. He would come to like when I was like 7, my softball games and do that. And I was just like, oh my gosh, overkill. And he'd be like, hey, batter, batter, batter. And then like do like, you couldn't hit a buffalo in the butt with a bass fiddle. And I'd just be like, how do you even think of these things? It's just the Alabama in him. He'd come up with these really funny little things. I was like, I could never even think of that. So yeah. His family gets real intense, like even about Rook. They'd play Rook and be like shouting and like slamming the cards down. And my mom was just like, it's a card game. And they were like, no, it's not. It is not just, it's like Family Feud. You're cheating.
It gets serious, man. It gets serious up in there.
Yeah, we
I
would play like the
understand.
kids
I
would play
understand.
spoons at Thanksgiving, like the card game with the spoons. And we had people like, we drew blood. We'd be so into it. We'd be like, and it'd be like, you scratch somebody. And I was just like, I don't want to get hurt, guys. I'll just knock at a spoon. I'm good. I'll eat more
It's
pie.
bad when like two people grab the same spoons and then now they're like
Right.
fighting over the spoons. Yeah, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, we got very into our games. My mom's side was more nice and chill about it. I feel like they'd
You
always
get
let me
intense.
win when I was the youngest, and I'd be like, I'm a lucky duck. So sometimes now they'll like joke about the Lucky Duck song. They'd be like, Andy the Lucky Duck. I'm like, yeah. But I'm pretty sure Grandpa would like cheat and let me win, you know? Then I wasn't the littlest anymore and they stopped doing that. Alrighty. Yeah, that was like when I was 4, you know. Alrighty. So moving on. Okay, sports arena crowd.
All right,
Go for it.
gotcha. Go, go, go! Oh, come on, ref! Unbelievable. Boo! Let's go, Tigers.
Exactly. Yes. Excellent. Very good. And again, they'll have more people, so they're going to be layering it all, and it's going to sound great. All right. So then let's go to this coffee shop scene. Overlapping soft conversations, indistinct murmurs, light laughs, chair shuffling. So that they'll probably put sounds in. Keep it low and ambient, right? So ambient, sorry, ambient. You're creating ambiance. I was thinking ahead. Yeah. So script, loopable background lines. You try the new latte yet? Yeah, but I still miss the pumpkin spice. It's not even October. Excuse me, sorry, just squeezing through. Just need to get a napkin. Thanks. Hmm. Did you hear what happened to Mark's cat? Oh no, what? Oops, I didn't say the line right. I'm dyslexic. I have to do it again. No, what? Oh no. Table by the window is free now. Shh. Blink. I'm telling you, that date was a disaster. Right. So just anything. Just make it up. Have fun with
Yeah,
it.
like the mummers, like when we were like reading the voiceover directions and the mummers, I was just thinking like, oh,
Mhm.
so like Charlie Brown, like, like
Yeah, exactly. Precisely.
totally got this, totally got this.
You got this.
You tried the new latte yet? Yeah, but I still miss the pumpkin spice. It's not even October. Excuse me, sorry. Just squeezing through. Oh. Did you hear what happened to Mark's cat? No, what? Oh no. Table by the window's free now. Sure. I'm telling you, that date was a disaster.
Nice. Yeah, beautiful. Perfect. All right, so then let's go ahead and look at, so you specifically had talked about sneezes, coughs, like random sounds. So we're going to do a 2-syllable sneeze. This context is a sneeze in a comedic animation or realistic audio drama. So make it 2 syllables. First syllable is a sharp intake or pre-sneeze. Chew, right? Second is the actual sneeze, chew. Script option 1 is cartoon style. Or right? Or ugh, every time I walk past that cat, you know. So go ahead and try whatever you want with that one.
Uh, Gosh.
Yeah,
Okay. Totally
get
got
ready. You got this.
I don't even know what made me like want to do the ah, chew. Ah, ah, chew. Ugh. Every time I walk past that cat.
Nice. Yeah. So now let's make it over the top silly because this is cartoon style. So I want it to be like overly done, like achoo. Like make it even sillier cartoon style.
Cartoon style. Well, I don't think I've ever tried to do anything cartoon style. Wait, totally got this.
Just think over exaggerated, like everything 100 times bigger.
All right. Ugh. Every time I walk past that cat.
Nice. Good. All right. So then script option two, they say more naturalistic this time. So think just real life, the achoo and excuse me. Achoo. Excuse me. That's actually not how I sneeze personally. I sneeze like my granddaddy.
Yeah.
Like he did like a
I'm
like big old one.
uh,
And I tend to be pretty dramatic with my sneezes. And it's real. Like I actually sneeze like that, which is weird.
I'm like I feel like with natural sneezes, I don't know, to me it's always like one snout. I never hear the high. I always just hear that. It's always like like a breathing or like just like a silent breath, and then you just hear this part, somebody,
Yeah,
yeah, just you just hear like the
yeah,
second part. You're like, oh my
yeah,
gosh, that would sound like it hurt.
yeah. My mom does the cutest sneezes. She's like, achoo, achoo. Like she does these adorable sneezes, and then I'm over like, achoo. And I really sneeze like that. Oh well. All right, so a little more natural. Excuse me. Right. Excuse me. Or whatever you would do.
Excuse me.
Nice. Yeah.
Like my natural is completely different from what they would be asking for.
Yeah. That's okay. That's fine. Okay, short cough, half a second, use case, dry throat, attention getting, casual interruption. Anyway, like I was saying, so this is really just like you want to interrupt. Anyway, like I was saying,
Hmm.
except I wouldn't do the tongue click thing because that wouldn't be good. Anyway, like I was saying, or
It'll be like,
anyway, yeah. I feel like I would do more like that. Anyway, like I was saying, or anyway, what like I was saying, like so.
gotcha. Anyway, like I was saying,
Yes.
I'm sorry, like sweat got in my eye right there.
Oh, it's okay. Try like a few different takes because usually they'll be like, can you do like a few takes and just do something different each time?
Anyway, like I was saying, anyway, like I was saying, anyway, like I was saying,
Mhm.
anyway, like I was saying,
Yeah, nice. Very good. What do you think of that?
I feel good. I feel good. That felt pretty natural. Felt
Hmm.
pretty natural.
Okay. All right. Mm, okay, so try two more.
Two more of the same line, or like two more
Same
that
line.
could you, okay, gotcha. Because I was desperately about to go to the sneeze one. So anyway, like I was saying, anyway, like I was saying,
Nice. What do you think?
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Nice.
They're not as fun as the cartoony sneeze ones, but
Aw. All right, so then let's try. Let's do the medium cough. Slight sickness, nervousness, clearing throat. I, I'm fine, just allergies. And try three different ways to do it.
I've never even thought of coughs that way. Like how it has
Yeah,
like the short cough, the medium cough, the full sick cough.
yeah.
I've never, yeah, that's crazy.
Hmm.
I'm fine. Just allergies.
Nice. Two more
Nothing,
kinds.
just allergies. I'm fine. Just allergies. I'm fine. Just allergies.
Nice. Good. All right, now full sick cough, 2 to 3 seconds. Illness, recovering from choking, smoke inhalation. Ugh.
that one sounds like it could really hurt.
I wouldn't want to do it all day.
Yeah, I'm like, ah, man. Okay.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
I like those ones, honestly,
Yeah.
because I feel like I just actually had to call. So that
Oh,
one,
neat. That's awesome, actually.
that
That's
one
cool.
felt pretty good on my
You
chest.
used
Yeah.
it. Yeah. You were like, I'm just gonna take advantage of where I am at right now. Nice. Cool. So then, good. So let's just kind of reflect on some of the things we have done here. So what would you say are kind of the key takeaways, the things that you experienced and found and that really stuck with you?
Um, one, these can be extremely fun, depending
I
on
agree. Yeah.
depending on also like very lighthearted. Like it was definitely weird at the beginning, but like getting more into it, it was like, oh, like you're just having fun with all of these characters because these characters have no like motivation or description to them. It's just like, sorry to say, but they're like background characters, like they're supposed
Yeah.
to be. So it's like they're just kind of fun to
Right.
like
They're
just
supporting. They're there to
riff off
support.
of. Yeah, like you're just riffing off of
Exactly.
them. So like that makes it
Mm.
fun in that way. And then one thing I would take away and learn is just seeing like the sneezes and
Yeah,
the cough of like how different they could be, but also how important it is to it and
it
everything like
is.
that. The difference between the seconds, difference between like the damn, I can't think of the word for it now. It's not onomatopoeia, it's what is it with some the I can't think of the word when they're like it has this many not nouns, it has like oh, I could not think of what the English term for it
That's
is. But like,
okay.
yeah, it's like when you're like as a kid and you're like, oh, computer has like computer. And it's like
Mhm.
I cannot think of what that word is right now. But it's
That's
like
okay.
learning that through like sneezes and coughs and stuff like that, and
Right.
like knowing they want you to hit like boom, okay, cough,
Hmm.
boom. So like that was
Yeah.
probably something I take away from that. But
Right.
overall, it's just fun to do.
I
That's
agree. I
definitely like
agree. Yeah.
overall, it's just fun to do.
100%. Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's just really fun. Um, and you can come up with just, beautiful, fun, exaggerated, goofy, dramatic. You have all these options of what you want to do with it, which I think is just it's a great way to just be creative. So I actually really enjoy doing those kind of things. And you also might have noticed, some things are going to be more fatiguing. And so you're going to have to, preserve your voice in those
Mm.
moments. You're going to have to be like, okay, awareness, and this is fatiguing. So now I have to, maybe talk less the rest of the day, that kind of thing, you know?
It's
Yeah.
definitely I feel you on that.
So then, any like questions or things, before we wrap up for today?
Um, for this, I
Yeah.
would say it was not really any questions, just more of
Okay.
like because like I saved the chat, so I'm probably just definitely just gonna
Cool.
go over it more and more and just be like, oh, this would
Yeah.
just be fun to record and maybe have like a
Hmm.
reel for this or something like that.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
The, but outside of I guess like this class, I will say like I do have to take like 2 to 3 weeks
Okay, no problem.
before like coming back to class because I'm like also
Yeah.
falling behind on like my animation stuff.
Oh, yeah, no
So
problem at all. So we'll take the 19th, 26th, and 1st off. Is that right?
yeah, yeah, that should work for me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just check back in with you. So I'll just delete right now the 19th, 26th. And then I'll just say check in with you on the 2nd. How about that? And
Yeah,
we'll just like
that would
chat
work.
about, like if you want to meet, if you don't. So I'll just say like check in. with you before then. Okay, cool. Yeah, that just kind of helps me remember. Perfect. And I actually think the one of those weekends I have a graduation to go to. So I might be like driving back on the Monday anyway. So yeah, family graduation thing. So yeah, it's summertime too. So I get it. Alrighty. Well, have a wonderful rest of your week. Send me stuff if you want me to check it out. And I look forward to seeing you in June. Yeah. See you then.
See
Bye,
you.
McArthur.